Okay, so I'm just briefly going to talk about a different kind of perspective, more so how to teach and train students and professionals to provide access to born digital documents. So I'll just talk or show you a brief overview of our program structure and our models. So right now we have 3 degree programs in digital information management. The first is a professional certificate. It's 15 credits over 2 modules. It's 100% online and all on demand. It was built with Articulate Storyline or Storyline Articulate. So it was very much me designing the course, like sitting in an audio booth, like doing voiceover, working with an ed tech to really build this immersive experience that people can have online whenever they have a chance. Because a lot of people, at least the people that come to our program, start working in the field, but really struggle to find education that is accessible to them because they can't just kind of drop everything and come on down to UCD in the middle of the day because they have full-time jobs. Then we offer a graduate diploma. Oh, sorry, one thing. The Prof Cert actually just this past year was qualified on Springboard. So we were granted 60 Springboard scholarships, which was really, really great. So it was either 100% funded or 90% funded. So it's really increased education or access to education in that sense. The grad dip is 60 credits. It's a smaller version of the MSc, which is 90 credits. And the difference there is really the difference between the grad dip and the MSc is 1 extra option module and then an internship or thesis. Most students choose the internship because they really value the experience of working or getting practice working in the field. So some of those modules are offered remotely, some are in person. As I said, for the Prof Cert, they are offered, the Prof Cert's offered 100% online. With the grad dip and the MSc, I do most of the training in a module that's 10 credits called Digital Curation Core Concepts. We do a lot of different things in there. I'll get to that next slide. And then there's this outreach and communication for digital information management that everybody takes. And that was developed after my colleague Kalpana Shankar and I did a 3-year case study looking at the digital curation, digital information management needs for the sector in Ireland and what people really needed. And what came out of that was this module, really focusing on outreach and communication, because we found that a lot of people who responded to our surveys worked alone, or they were like the one person in their institution doing a lot of the digital curation, digital preservation work. And they needed a way to be able to advocate for their roles and also the work they do, because they found a lot of their colleagues didn't even understand it, let alone the public. So this is just a sample of what this kind of looks like. Digital curation core concepts, we do a lot of the basic kind of digital curation preservation education. I'd say the one thing that's probably different about our program to programs maybe in other countries like the UK, the US, Canada, Australia, is Ireland's small and it's just a smaller population. So a lot of the people who take that module, some of them do go on to work in digital preservation exclusively, but some of them don't. They may have a different job, like say in the tech industry, but a little bit of their job has a digital preservation element. So they're kind of taking this to kind of just extend their knowledge that they bring with them. And maybe they work in the tech industry or civil service, things like that. Again, with the outreach module, it focuses on communication and outreach, things like how to explain an access policy, how do we talk about impact, outreach and things like that. You can see the projects. I do different things like quizzes and tests, and then team projects and portfolios. And so a couple of the things that I've noticed teaching digital preservation for nearly a decade is that students tend to struggle with, actually, sorry, let me go back up. This is the content of these type of different things and how I talk about born digital access. So different types of access, how it relates to policy development, how it relates to different terms, and also the user's point of view, which has been really important in the history of archival education in general. Finally, some of the things that I've observed that students struggle with. These are probably the 4 continuing things that I see year after year that students struggle with initially. So anything from the concept of access to access is not preservation, or the difference between those two, especially the role of digitization in there. Also, the OAIS and, this concept of a dissemination information package, with the OAIS reference model, the actual visual model people tend to struggle with. And also Paul Conway's modes of seeing and his concept of a digital surrogate and how that might change how they already think about a digital surrogate. So I think I'm over time, so I will stop now, but I'm happy to answer any questions.